All right, guys. So our next and final Warner Brothers HBO Max related DC topic for the day is a little just thing that I just wanted to share with everybody if you didn't know it existed, and if you're in especially the Austin, the Texas, I think it's in Austin. And no, it's in Dallas, Texas. If you're in the Texas area, particularly in Dallas, and can make a trip out, there is a Snyder cut like exhibit. Like I don't know if you remember, like a while back, at least at the museum here in the state of Ohio, they had a Star Wars exhibit. So they had all like the screen used costumes, and it was just this, went to your museum, you get to walk around and see all this cool stuff. They are doing that in Dallas, Texas for the Snyder cut of Justice League. And it looks really cool, in all honesty. Like they have some stuff going on in here. They got like the Flashpoint Flash suit. They have, what you get a good look at here, they have Deathstroke suit, like just all this cool stuff. And then in Deathstroke suit, one of the things I wanted to actually point out in this thing, and there's like this dude, like for instance, has a little quick video of it. It's like 4 minutes long of just showing some of the stuff off himself. But there's some cool stuff that you kind of just see in it, like Deathstroke's suit. If I can ever freaking find it here. Okay, so here it is.
What?
So here's the Deathstroke Nightmare suit.
Oh, Nightmare. Okay.
Yeah, the night, because that's where Deathstroke's
I was
popping
like,
up
where's the
again now.
orange?
Yeah, so he's in here, but there's even like, it looks super cool for
That
one.
looks tight.
Like it looks awesome. It looks just as good as the freaking Deathstroke hot toy. Like they were definitely inspired by the Arkham Origins
yeah.
Deathstroke. It looks to a T like that.
Dude's a
But
walking
there's
weapon.
yeah, dude. But they have a cool thing. They show right here. He has Kryptonite's bullets loaded in his weapon. So it's like little cool things like that. I just thought was like super cool. Like if I was in Dallas, Texas, dude, I'd go check this out for sure.
For sure.
Like, this thing is super cool. And they had just, I mean, all the costumes are there, like I said, for everybody. They got the Flash, or the Nightmare Flash suit, which also is like completely different and like pretty cool looking.
That's cool.
Like it was just a cool little thing. So if you haven't seen it, like I said, if you're in the Dallas area, go check it out. I think they said that their hours are like pretty much, I think from like 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., but they close between like 2 and 5 or something, apparently. I don't live in the area. So
one quick observation when they were showing that, whoever that like guy with the Superman emblems on it,
Mhm.
not to bring it up like a weird topic or subject or anything, but it definitely looks like World War II German inspired, especially with the little logos like on the collar and all that.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's where
It's
if you're
supposed to be.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
if you remember in the nightmare scene in Batman vs Superman, when Clark drops down
Yeah.
to like go pull the cowl off of Batman, there's like those two guards that are wearing this gear, because there's
Yeah,
like
it's definitely
there's a bunch of humans that are like on the side of this nightmare Superman and dark side rule, like some people went on to
man, it's fucked up.
yeah, be a bad place to frickin' live, dude. You got the
Right.
terraforming of Earth to
It's literally called
apocalypse.
Nightmare. Like, it
Yeah.
sounds awful.
Not a good thing. Superman's bad, Darkseid's there. Like, be a fucking bad world. I mean, it's so bad that the Joker and Batman are best buds, pretty much.
Right.
I mean, think about that. All right, if the Joker and Batman have to team up, it's not a good place to be, like at all. But speaking of Joker, they have his suit here too, so you can kind of see that. His suit, honestly, though, isn't anything cool. He has like a bunch of badges on here though, which I thought was kind of a nice touch. Just a bunch of dead cops just took their badges. Definitely very Jokery. But yeah, it was cool. There wasn't really any other cool things. He has Harley Quinn's gun there. Yep, Harley Quinn's gun. So that was the Deathstroke having kryptonite bullets, and then the Harley Quinn gun thing for that was like the two like Easter eggs that like I saw in this thing. But I mean, hell, there could be more. Like I said, so if you're in the area, go check it out and let us know what it looks like. Or if, like I said, just watch a couple videos online. I'm sure there's more that you can find on there. Cyborg doesn't look any different in Nightmare World, though. He just has a freaking sash on. Like, yeah. What's he even needed for? Doesn't make any sense.
South Card Whitaker Tower.
There it is. So go look it up. I have no idea the price of admission. Don't know anything about it in that regard. I just thought it was cool. And I know a lot of people have been like wondering, like, why haven't they been marketing the Snyder Cut? And it's like, they have been marketing the Snyder Cut. And they have this huge exhibit down here. I don't know what people are like expecting for like, it's I don't know. I don't know. I just wish people would
It's
just
a
be excited for the movie and just be happy when it comes out. Like,
it's a very targeted campaign too. I don't think you're
mhm.
going to see an advertisement for the Snyder Cut during, Wheel of Fortune at
Yeah.
night.
No.
I think they're trying to be very selective with, because like we've talked about, they've pumped so much money into finishing this version of the film with no theatrical run in the works. This is strictly to promote and prop up the streaming service. So there's going to be no additional, in a sense, there's going to be no revenue from the box office coming in. Of course, you will hopefully, the hope is that the streaming numbers will get a boost from this, and which will be
Mhm.
revenue. Um, but I think that they are trying to be. They're not going to market it the way they would market a movie that was coming, a big tentpole summer blockbuster movie. So
Yeah. Well, you know what? When this show comes out, we're only gonna be 4 days away when this
that's
show
right.
goes up. 4 days from so as you're watching this now, we are 4 days away from seeing it ourselves, and I honestly, I don't even think if too, because I know you're a big theater guy, and I love going to theater. This is the like, I would be in the theater for this movie, like, in normal circumstances. But honestly, since I've already seen Justice League, I don't know if I would actually go out to see it in theater. I think I would just watch it at home anyway. Like, I was
I'd go to
just
the theater
yeah.
just because like some of those scenes that we've seen even in the trailers, the little snippets that we've seen in the
Yeah.
trailers that we didn't see in Justice League, like Superman coming back and using his heat vision and just looking
Yeah.
completely badass. Like
True.
I want to see that on the big screen. I can't imagine how many more moments like that Zach has, because for all the issues I have story wise with Batman versus Superman character, the the way they portray some of the characters, especially Batman, I will never say that he doesn't create excellent action scenes and excellent, like some of his, the spectacle of it is something to behold, and I'd love to see that spectacle played out on the big screen. Some of these throne room snippets that we've gotten of Darkseid and
Mhm.
some of the other new gods, like just I can't imagine seeing this them on the scale of the big screen, let alone like an IMAX screen. So I'd be there in a
Yeah.
heartbeat.
Yeah.
And barring me absolutely hating this cut of the movie when I watch it, if it ever does get a theatrical run, I'm sure I'll go and catch it in the theater just so I can
Yeah.
have that opportunity.
Well, that's the thing. Zack Snyder absolutely is a visual storyteller, like
Yeah.
100%. Like he his stories are told through intense visuals, and like kind of a lot of times can lack on the dialogue and the script portion of it. Not that they're terrible. Sucker Punch has really only been his bad movie. Like, in all honesty, like, you may not like BVS or Man of Steel and all that stuff, but like they're not bad movies. I mean, it's all subjective, but I think they're well made. You might not like what happened in them, and that's totally fine. But I would contend that they are very well made films. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
I would contend that the ultimate cut of BVS is a well-made film that's narratively told well.
Mhm.
I would contend the theatrical cut was awful. There are jumps in logic and reasoning that happen in that movie. They're just so beyond acceptable that it explains why that movie had such a hard time and why Warner Brothers got them. I think if they had released the ultimate cut of Snyder's BVS in theaters and not the theatrical cut that ended up going, if they had let it just be a 3-hour movie, I think it would have made $1 billion. It would have given it that extra push it needed and also secured Zach's place at the helm of Justice League, at least for the first part.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I'll have to go back and like, because when I got my new TV, BVS Ultimate Cut is actually something I decided to watch on there. Oh yeah, and the other thing that would be cool too is since the Snyder Cut, since he's releasing it in the IMAX ratio, I would go see it in IMAX because like
Yeah.
that would actually be like the entire movie would be in that format. Because if you've I'm sure everybody's seen like the Dark Knight trilogy and everything, and like Nolan shot some scenes in the IMAX format, so you would see if you went to go see it in IMAX or even on your regular TV, when you lose the black bars, then you're in the big IMAX cameras. That's when they were using those scenes. Yeah, that's when they were using the cameras in that scene. But this would be the entire movie in that aspect
Yeah.
ratio. So,
Yeah.
which is it's rare. There's really not a whole lot of films that actually get released like with a majority of IMAX ratio stuff. So that would be really cool. But with the ultimate cut and the theatrical cut thing, I'll have to go back at one point and actually I've only watched the theatrical cut one time when I saw it in theaters that one time. Because then I think I only saw it once and then I got the ultimate cut immediately and that's all I've watched on any repeat viewing. So it's kind of hard for me to even differentiate like what's missing from it. Because
The very
it feels like the
the
same movie, just kind of flushed out a little bit.
the
Yeah.
very beginning of the movie, Superman, I mean, obviously it plays the same in both. Superman comes to save Lois, and
Mhm.
then the whatchamacallit, the mercenaries kill all those
Burn all the
people and
bodies, yeah.
they blame it on Superman. But it doesn't make any sense because the mercenaries in the theatrical cut, all that happens is the mercenaries shoot everybody and then they take off. And then
Oh, they
Superman
don't
gets
show the
blamed for it,
burning?
which never made any sense because Superman doesn't use a gun. Why the hell is everybody blaming Superman for these people being killed
Yeah, no,
when they
yeah, I
were
thought the same.
clearly shot?
Yeah.
In the ultimate cut, they actually have a scene where they burn the bodies, and so
Heat
it looks
visions.
like there was heat vision maybe that was used to do it. So it at least gives you a rationale for why people might think it was Superman, even though it's still quite a jump in logic. But at least in the
Yeah,
theatrical cut,
they
it
would
just
still
makes
have
zero sense.
bullets.
It's like
Like,
Superman came in with guns and killed people because
yeah.
he needs firearms. What?
Right. Yeah, no, yeah, that definitely doesn't make
That's
sense.
stupid.
That sounds like one of the things. Because I remember thinking that exact same thing at some point in time, so it was probably when I watched the theatrical cut, I was like, "Why do they think he killed them?"
Yeah,
And if they
yeah,
only show because I remember the burning bodies, that's how I remember it now. Because that's all I've watched the ultimate cut like 3 or 4 times, only the theatrical
yep.
cut once, so it's really like, I should probably go back and watch those at some point, just, like, back to back. I just don't know if I wanna sit through that. That's like a 5-hour venture, and it's
Yeah,
not like
right.
the greatest theatrical experience to begin with. It's okay. So, I don't know if I actually
There's
wanna do
probably
it, but
somebody probably YouTubed. You probably just check YouTube and see if somebody if
yeah, a
nobody
Cliff
did, then
Note
that might be a
version.
cool YouTube project to put up all the differences between a Snyder
Yeah.
theatrical and a Snyder ultimate cut.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I'd be interested to see it. Kinda like the Watchmen cut. Like, that
Yep.
thing is just, like, grows and it's a kind of a big difference, though. There's, like, a whole extra hour of shit, and, like, once you get to the final, like, director's ultimate, there's, like, 4 different versions of that movie. It's
And then
crazy.
they entered the animated sequences
Yeah,
back in, which is very cool, and yeah.
yeah. I like that movie, too. I thought that was
It's
a
so
good movie.
good, yeah.
That movie that was a great movie. I don't know why people didn't like that. I know, like, the ending is different, but, like, all things considered, it was fine. Like, it was
I
I liked it. I
I
liked it.
wish they would have done, but people also have to understand the time that movie was made. That was
Yeah.
done before Marvel started knocking things out of the park and keeping it
Yeah,
true to the comics.
that's a good
At
point.
that time that Watchmen was made, the belief was you couldn't keep some of the more fantastic elements of like Rocket Raccoon would have never gotten made when Watchmen was made. Like nobody would have ever
Mhm.
touched Rocket Raccoon. It would have been like that's such a ridiculous concept. We could never do it on the screen.
Even
And
Groot.
the same for the alien at the end of Watchmen. Everybody thought it was ridiculous. You couldn't do it.
I mean, it's a ridiculous. It's a giant fucking squid. Like it's ridiculous in the comic, like it's
Yeah.
in the graphic novel. It's ridiculous as it is. Like it worked really well. That's what I was really happy to see with the Watchmen series being a direct sequel to that. Like that was a thing. Like the squids
Yep.
were there. So I was like, because you see that in the well, spoiler alert if you never watch it, but it's in the first shot of the movie, the show. Like essentially, it opens up with the squids falling. So I was
Yep.
really happy. I was pleased to see that. That was a good little thing.
Yeah.
But
Nod.
yeah, it was good. But I'm excited for it. So yeah, if you're in the Dallas area, like I said, go check out this stuff and let us know how it is. And then,
Well,
oh, what you got?
well, I was just gonna say while we're talking about this, I mean, we talked about it off camera, and we don't have to
Oh
spend a lot of
yeah,
time on it. But uh, what's her Grace Hell? Is it Hellbig?
Randolph, Grace
Herbig?
Randolph, right? That's who you're talking
Grace
about.
Randolph.
Grace Randolph.
Oh, sorry, I completely got butchered. Sorry, apologize for that. Grace Randolph posted a tweet earlier this week claiming that there is internal traction at I'm paraphrasing here, but there's basically internal traction at Warner Brothers for Zack to do a Justice League 2 and 3 possibly, considering how well the Zack Snyder Justice League cut is tracking, I guess, for their internal numbers. So, and that she was encouraging people to keep up the good word and the excitement around it. But then, of course, we went to look up the tweet today, and you mentioned that it was taken down. So
Yeah.
who knows
So
what's going on with that?
yeah, and so with that, so here's the tweet, everybody. Okay, so that's the thing. But
It's an interesting tweet.
luckily though, John did send this, or I think it was you, John. You sent it in Discord. So
Yeah.
like I have what it was. So she said like I had a wonderful evening watching a certain movie. Also, I'm hearing exciting things from multiple sources. JL 2 and 3 might now be possible. Some suits want Zack Snyder to direct Wonder Woman 3, which is where I immediately knew this was bullshit, to be honest with you. And then, which I think is an excellent idea. The hype is real. Don't let up now. So
Yeah.
there's, for
Jack
one, there's
Nicholson.
no fucking way that they would have Zack Snyder come do Wonder Woman. Like, absolutely.
Why would they
not.
ruin that Patty Jenkins relationship? you
Yeah,
know?
like there's no like there's no reason for they would never want that. They would like yeah, like you have Patty Jenkins. Like what do you,
Yeah.
like, and Patty Jenkins and Zack Snyder have a really good working relationship. They're like friends. So like
Yeah, Zach wouldn't do that, I don't think either.
yeah, he would like unless Patty wanted Zack to do it, that's the only way he would ever do that.
Yeah.
Like and I don't know them by any means, but I've seen their how they talk to each other and like they have a very good
About
relationship.
each other.
Yeah, like so that would never happen. That's the only thing again, hearkening back to the whole story about the guy who commented on Matt Reeves's Batman picture. Don't believe everything you see on social media. All right?
True.
And that's one of the things I don't like about some people who I'm not calling anybody out to be like mean or anything like that. I'm not going to use any names, but I don't like when people post news about stuff and then when they get called out on it, they don't apologize. They don't say, "Oh, well, my source was," they don't own up to it.
They just disappear.
They just delete the tweet
Yeah.
or move on. Like they just act like it didn't happen. So they just spread all this misinformation for clicks or for whatever. But they take no ownership in it. You know what I mean? I think it's it's a bit lazy, really. I could post tons of headlines that are completely
Made
batshit
up.
crazy. Yeah, like just to get clicks and people like liking. But because I mean, look how gullible people are. Like this dude, literally, the guy we talked about earlier, commenting on Matt Reeves, like he posted a thing saying the movie's done, and he's asking a question if the thing got canceled. It's like, really? Like it doesn't even make sense, my man. Like.
Yeah.
But either way, question is, guys, what do you think about this? If it, in the end, I don't think it holds there's zero weight to that tweet from Grace Randolph. I do. Warner Brothers is not trying to make Justice League 2 or 3. It's not going to happen. Like, not that anything's not possible. Like, sure, it's possible. They made Snyder Cut, for heaven's sake, so it's possible. But it's not something they have planned right now. Like, there's no way. Warner Brothers already knows how people reacted to Zack Snyder's DC universe. Like they already know. The people who hated Man of Steel and hated BVS they're not all of a sudden gonna like Zack Snyder's Justice League. They already didn't like what he did with DC. It's not gonna be some magical reinvention of it's just gonna be another Zack Snyder Justice League DC movie. Like, and I'm excited for it. I like all Zack Snyder's movies. But 50% of people didn't. Like, and it's not going to change the mind on that. Warner Brothers already knows. You already know that. I know that. So it's just weird that people think all this stuff's going to just magically happen and everyone's just going to love everything. No, it's not going to happen. The people who don't like Zack Snyder stuff are going to continue to not liking Zack Snyder's DC stuff. It just is what it is. I don't got anything really else to add about that. But whatever you think, let us know down in the comment section below.